everybody, welcome back to my channel, Made with Love. My name is Heather and today is Thursday, October 5th. And so up here in Canada, our Thanksgiving will be on Monday. So I'm doing my Thanksgiving dinner on Sunday. So today's Thursday, so I've already, made my meal plan. I know how many people we're coming. It's going to be between 11 and 13 people. Could be a little more, I don't know, but it's going to be, that's usually what we invite is that around that 12 people show up. I think this year, I said we're coming with that close to 13. So I just made a quick list of what I do make for my basic when I do Thanksgiving, Christmas, and Easter. It's just my basic list. And then I get to do the fun part, which is I get to go on Pinterest or through my cookbooks and really try to find some new recipes to kind of, I make my standard recipes, but I like to find something to change it up just a little bit. But my basic meal plan that I'll be doing is my turkey, ham, gravy, stuffing, cranberry sauce, potatoes, yams, beets. I have rutabaga, so I have rutabaga this year, carrots, Brussels sprouts. I make a cranberry punch, a salad, and then my buns. So me and my husband the other day, we were out shopping, so we already got the ham and the turkey. We got them, I've got them in my freezer right now, so I'll be moving them into the fridge because today's Thursday, so I'll need them for Sunday. I should have taken out last night, but I forgot, but they're just in the fridge freezer. So I'll be bringing those out, and we got them for under $20 each. It's a good size turkey, a good size ham. If I was just gonna do a turkey, I would get like a larger turkey, but I like to do both the turkey and the ham, so I'll do like a medium-sized turkey, kind of like the cheaper, like for Walmart, they have like the 3 sizes. I try to get around that. Their cheaper ones is the 3 to 5 kilograms, so I try to get as close to the 5 kilograms as possible, because once you hit over 5, then you're up into the next bracket, and then you're into the more expensive ones after that. Same with my ham. So I buy the small hams. I like the ones that Walmart used to have for just under $20. They're around the 20. I don't know. They were like 18, and they did go up to about 22. But now this year it was like, Christmas, I was looking for them, and they went up to like almost $30. So it was a huge jump. So I'm like, I'm not doing that. I just need a small basic ham. I don't know, again, I like it about the same size as the turkey, so roughly around that 4 or 5 kilograms. I'm trying to think, conversion, I don't quite know the conversion from pounds to kilograms. Sometimes I can. These ones I just know what I pay for my meat in kilograms. But they probably have the pounds on the packaging as well, or I can convert that. I do know how to do that. I just don't know exact size of them. But again, so my ham is about the same size as the turkey. That way I've got lots of meat. Like I said, if I can't find a ham, if the hams go really expensive, I'll just do a larger size turkey. So I'll try to find a smaller turkey and a small ham. I like that. And I said my gravy, I just buy those gravy pouches from the dollar store, whatever. I've tried making gravy from scratch over the years, and I just find it so much easier just to have the packaged stuff. I usually end up, when I did make them from scratch, there's nothing wrong with that. I do like them. I just found it was always too thick, or like you'd get the lumps in it, the cornstarch or flour would get those lumps. And I could never get the lumps out. So I'm just one of those people who every once in a while I'll try to make gravy from scratch. So, like a dinner like this would not be the time to try to make a gravy from scratch. I will still add some of my drippings to the boxed mix package. My cat is eating something she's not supposed to be. She's digging through the bags of my stuff I was going to be working on later today. Okay, I'm just gonna do some of my floral arrangements for Thanksgiving, and she's already found the little grassy stuff sticking out of the bag, and she's trying to pull it out and eat it. Okay, so, and then my stuffing, I will be making, I love the cornbread stuffing, so I actually make my own cornbread for that. So that I'll be making, so I'll have to make some cornbread. My cranberry sauce is pretty standard, although I found a really good recipe I'd like to try this year. It's a little bit different. Cranberry sauce, I'd love to try. Potatoes, I never just, I don't know what kind of potatoes I'm going to try. Sometimes do the little baby potatoes with the carrots, or mashed potatoes. I haven't quite decided what kind of potatoes yet. I just wrote down yams because I do have, well, I say yams, but it's yams or squash. I've got 3 in my pantry that I have to use up. I don't know what they are. No, one's a butternut squash, and then I've got 2 other things in the pantry, and I'm not quite sure what they were, so I will be making those. And of course, beets and rutabaga, because they were on sale a couple weeks ago, so I bought a 10 kilogram bag of each. So I've got a lot. I don't have many beets left, but I did save some for this dinner, and I have a lot of rutabaga just because the size of the rutabaga, it lasts. Some of the rutabaga are like this big around, and so yeah, they're just take a lot longer to cook down, but I find they actually last longer in my pantry than the beets did. My carrot, same thing. I'm not quite sure what kind of style of carrots I'm going to do this year. Brussels sprouts, I love doing Brussels sprouts, although I did find another new recipe for Brussels sprouts, so I will be trying that this year. It's actually adding pistachios and almonds into the Brussels sprouts, which I think could be really good to try. And then I make my own cranberry punch, which is just 2 basic ingredients. It's just ginger ale and cranberry juice. But I found some really neat things I'd like to try for that one as well, because I've never done ice cube ring or ice cubes with berries in it, and so I'd like to try that this year. Salad, I usually just see if I can find a pre-made salad. Right now the price of lettuce and all the other salad stuff like celery, carrots, everything just I put in my salad. It's just gone up to the point where it's actually just cheaper just to buy a bag salad or one of those pre-made, like in the deli section salads, and then buns. I don't actually have to worry about that. My daughter actually works at a bakery. I picked her up last night from work, so she sent me home the buns for dinner, so I have the buns, so I don't have to worry about that. I was gonna make some from scratch, but she's brought me some from her bakery, so don't need to do that. So with that being said, that is my basic plan of what I'm going to be making. Now I will be going through the cookbook and just determining exactly what type of things I want to make, and going through my grocery list, because that's my next thing I'll be doing, is what stuff I know I'm going to make the potatoes, I'm going to make carrots, rutabaga, Brussels sprouts, and then it's like, well, what recipe am I going to make? That's my fun step, and I've already kind of started doing that one. So I will be back when I say exactly what I'm going to make. I said my turkey and my ham on. I haven't decided. I think I'm just gonna do them oven roasted this year. Last year I did my slow cooker. It wasn't really cooking my meat properly. I sold my slow cooker. I think it was because the little knob was a little cracked. But this year I said I do my Instant Pot. But I think I'm just gonna go back to the oven because I did get some of those browning bags. So I'd like to try cooking the turkey and the ham in those browning bags. I think that would be kind of fun to try. So I'll be back in just a few moments when I get my whole recipes and shopping lists made up. Okay, so I'm in my garage. I say sorry, the garbage truck is just going by, so you might hear it. But so here is the turkey we got. This was at Superstore. This is similar to the ones that like Walmart brings in, these young turkeys. This is the 3 to 5 kilograms. They were $18. So I try to get as big or as close to the 5 kilograms as I can. So I got the 4.84 kilograms. I'll try to get as close to the 5 so you get the bigger turkeys. And then same with this. This is this ham I bought. Got it from Freshco. It's just a little newer grocery store we have. We lost Safeway, we got Freshco. It's kind of owned by like IGA, Sobeys, that type. I guess it'd be Sobeys. So it's this one here. So we got it for, again, just $17.50 or $17.49. So it says it's so much, $4.34 per kilogram. and this was just a little over 4 kilograms. So I found one of the nicest, more roundish ones, similar size. I try to find ones that are like more even, like the back end here, a little more even, easier to cut into than some of the ones where they have like, if this one here is like, sometimes this back part, one side will be like way bigger than this side. So I try to find one that looks a little more even. So that is our ham and our turkey. So I'll just be putting them in the fridge now because they've been in the freezer since we bought them. I think it was Saturday morning, I believe. Today's Thursday, so it'll take a couple days to defrost. But I will be back in a few moments with my shopping list. All right, so I've made my list. I knew what my menu plan, and so now I went and I've got my recipe, so I know what I'm going to be making. So I'm going to, of course, do my turkey, my ham, my gravy is just the mixed gravy. My stuffing, I'm going to make it's called savory cornbread stuffing. So I got to make my cornbread from scratch, so I will be doing that in a little bit tonight. So, and then I'm going to be making a ginger cranberry sauce, which was just a different recipe. It has a few ingredients, stuff that I don't actually use, but I just think it would be just a change from my regular cranberry sauce. I'm going to do Brussels sprouts and a maple syrup and a mustard dressing. I'm going to do my slow cooker garlic roasted baby potatoes. I'm going to do rosemary roasted rutabaga. Of course, I love to do my honey cumin carrots or maple syrup and honey cumin. I love the combination of maple syrup and honey in anything. And then I will be doing beets, and I've got a couple different yams or squashes. I think I've got it is a sweet potato, and then I have 2 other squashes. I think it's a butternut squash, and then I got one that my friend had given me. I forget what it's called, but I'm going to be making those, and that I'm going to use for my yams and my squashes and my beets. I'm going to cook them on the slow cooker in my Instant Pot. I haven't quite decided I'm going to do the slow cooker setting or just the fast Instant Pot. So that I hadn't quite figured out exactly what I was going to do for those. For dinner, we have a total of 13 people I have invited, and I know there's at least 2 who are not going to make it. So I'm still making, I said, my dinners, and I make these, it's usually for between like 11 to 13 people if everybody shows up. So that is what I'll be making. So I've got my grocery list for the things that I gotta go get. So I'm gonna head out to the Superstore right now and get the few items I'm missing. And then when I get back, I will be starting to make the cornbread. So I'm very basic. I have most ingredients. What I don't have is cranberries, Brussels sprouts, baby potatoes, buttermilk, celery, garlic cloves. I do have a few, but I don't know if I quite have enough to do the whole dinner. Orange juice, ginger root. Again, I do have some ginger, but I'm gonna go get stuff, so I might as well pick up another little chunk of ginger root and some chicken stock. I thought I had some, so I put a question mark. I'm gonna double check, but even if I do, I think it'd just be fine just to buy another carton of chicken stock, just so I have it while I'm doing the dinner and I don't have to worry about, you know, Sunday comes and I'm short in ingredients. So that's all the ingredients that I just don't have. So I'm just gonna run out and grab those quickly. And then when I get back, I'm gonna start making the cornbread for the cornbread stuffing. All right, I'm back. I just went and got the groceries really quickly. My daughter was helping me, and I realized that I forgot to write down the 2 items to make the punch. So I also had to get ginger ale and cranberry juice. That's what I needed. So I will just quickly go through, because I am one of those people who I buy certain things to get points, then I'll cash in my points. I like to, the 3 major meals a year I make is Christmas, Thanksgiving, and Easter. And so I like to cash in my points to help pay for those meals. So I'll just go through my receipt from Superstore. So I did buy, because I needed that one was orange juice. So I just buy the 1 liter carton of the regular, like the no-name orange juice. So it was like $1.29 plus deposits and stuff. And the cranberry cocktail was $2.99 each. So I bought 2 of them for just under $6, and then all the deposits. the thing of No Name chicken broth was $1.19. Let's see. Oh, I needed some buttermilk. I generally, usually I will just make my own buttermilk with the vinegar or lemon juice, but in some recipes, it's the first time making a recipe. If I can get buttermilk, I will buy a carton of buttermilk. So I bought a small carton of buttermilk for $3.39 plus their recycling deposit. I did buy a little carton of the whipping cream, only because I haven't even decided what I was going to make for a dessert yet, and I usually end up needing whipping cream for my dessert, so that was $2.97 again, plus some recycling fees and deposit. I couldn't find any fresh cranberries. They had them in about a week ago, really good price. I never made it back this week, so I had to go with the frozen cranberries, so it was $3.99 for the bag. I don't know the size, it's not on my receipt, but that's okay. It was a good size. The potatoes were on, so I got 20 pounds of potatoes for $9. What's the next thing? I'm trying to read this. Oh, I did buy was it something at that times 2? Huh. I don't know what that was. Did I mess up somewhere? Huh. I'm just trying to figure out what that was. I don't know what that is. Okay. I bought something, 2 of them at $2.99 each. I don't remember what that is. Okay. Okay, and then I bought my garlic, so 3 little garlic cloves was 99 cents. The celery was on sale, so I got, they were like $2 each, so I bought 2 of them, so just under $4 for my celery. Their Brussels sprouts was a big mesh bag for $3.49, and I bought a thing of goat cheese. Now, it said it was $9, it was $7.50 with your PC card. And so my total came out to $50.80. But because I collect PC points, I cashed in $50 worth of points, so I got my groceries for 80 cents today. And then I did stop in at Dollarama, and I had to get some crackers or cookies or whatever for my little cheese pickle platter that I like to make. So I got some little wafer bits. They were $2. These other wafer bit things, they were $1.25, and then those nice chocolate wafer, the straw ones, or whatever, they're kind of like a straw shape, they were $2.50. So $5.85 at Dollarama. And then I went to Freshco. Freshco is a new place we have in town. So again, I needed some milk, so I just bought a 2-liter carton, and I actually got the 3.25%, so the whole milk. It's $4.69 plus all their deposits and stuff. And then I needed the ginger ale, and they had their pops are 97 cents. We had to buy in groups of 3. So we bought 2 ginger ale and 1 cream soda. I did buy some coffee creamer. It wasn't on sale, but it was the pumpkin spice, and it was the, oh shoot, what brand was that? I can't think of it. Not Coffee Mate. Shoot, I cannot think of the other one, but the other one. I think it's International Light, I believe. But anyway, so I paid $6 plus deposit and other fees for my coffee creamer. I bought a box of pumpkin spice cookies for $2.97. Another thing of cookies, another pumpkin spice cookies for $2.47. Then the other ginger ale is on there. And then I also bought some fire roasted little crackers, and then some other box of little crackers. So my total had come out to $24.66. But again, I cashed in points. So I cashed in 2,000 points, so I saved $20. So I only had to pay $4.66. So this is how you save money, is by collecting points. Like I can even see on here, I did get extra points that I didn't even know about. Freshco, I got an extra 50 points for purchasing something. I got some extra points for purchasing something else. Even on my Superstore one, I earned points before I redeemed my points. So I always find ways to, collect the points and put them towards a larger grocery trip, which I love to do a couple times a year. Very rarely do I ever cash in all my points, but I have been collecting these points and doing this with points since Zellers, like since I was like 18 years old. I've been just figured out a system, and Superstore has a good one. Safeway and Sobeys, they had a good one. Save-On has a good one. So you learn how to collect the points and when to purchase things. Like I said, Shoppers was another one. Shoppers is now with Superstore, so I get PC points going to Shoppers Drug Mart. And so just finding ways to, collect points and, save money on groceries later on. So now I'm just going to be heading to the kitchen, and I'm going to be making my the cornbread for my cornbread stuffing. So I'll just see you in just a few moments in the kitchen. Actually, it was bugging me trying to figure out what was on this receipt for the two items at $2.99. They were 680 grams. That was my baby potatoes. I had to figure it out. I couldn't remember what that was. I didn't understand, the little stuff beside, and they don't really say anything, just random letters. I couldn't figure it out. Okay, so now I'll meet you back in the kitchen. All right, welcome back. I'm now in my kitchen. It's actually, I couldn't do anything last night. It's actually, almost 10:30 Saturday morning. Thanksgiving dinner is tomorrow evening. This is kind of late for me for starting my cornbread, to make the cornbread stuffing. I love to have like about 2 days for the cornbread to just kind of sit on the counter and kind of dry out. But I don't always get that, so I do know a fast way of making it kind of dry it out a little faster, but I usually just stick it in the freezer for just overnight. Kind of gets it that, I don't know, changes the texture somehow. But so I'm going to make my cornbread to make the stuffing. So for the basic cornbread recipe, you need half a cup of melted butter, 1 cup of flour, 1 cup of yellow cornmeal, 1 tablespoon of sugar, 2 teaspoons of baking powder, half a teaspoon of baking soda, half a teaspoon of salt, 1.5 cups of buttermilk, and 2 eggs. Now for my stuffing recipe I'm going to make, it says I need to do a double batch of the cornbread, so I'm going to double everything. Also for my cornbread, I am using cornmeal. I don't always use the cornmeal. Sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. I am going to today just because I have a lot of the cornmeal. But instead of using regular flour, I like to use the sweet corn flour. And I might use this instead of the cornmeal. Sometimes I don't always have the cornmeal. It depends. So kind of like make how you like to make your bread. It's a very simple, basic few ingredients to make bread. Just kind of switch up the kind of flour you like. So starting with, so only 2 cups of flour. My 1 cup measure is dirty, so I guess I'll use half a cup measure. And I know I should scoop it out and level it out, but I've already, sifted this flour, and I like to sift my flour anyways, so. Yeah, I was gonna put this through the sifter, and I forgot to grab my sifter, but that's okay. Just going to be stuffing, so I got my flour, and then I need 2 cups of cornmeal, so I'll see if I have 2 cups in here. Yeah, I have almost 2 cups. I'm gonna say for this basic recipe, it's like good enough. And then a tablespoon of sugar. I guess I'll need 2 tablespoons of sugar. Uh, 2 teaspoons. I guess I need baking powder first. I need 4 teaspoons of baking powder. And 1 teaspoon of baking soda. And 1 teaspoon of salt. These a good mix. And then I like to add all my wet ingredients in a separate container. So I've got my 1 cup of melted butter. Add in 2 eggs. And then I need 3 cups of buttermilk. So I'm just going to add my buttermilk to here. Give the eggs a quick little stir. And I'll add my eggs and butter. You don't want to over mix, you just want to make this, just want to incorporate everything nice. I'm just going to pour it into my pans and bake at 400 for 21 to 23 minutes. Pans here. I got 2 pans prepared in case I needed 2. So I think I can get this all in just the 1 pan. The oven is already preheated at 400, so I'll be putting it in just a few minutes. And so I'll be back when the cornbread is baked. All right, so here's the cornbread. It is done. I tested it. I'm just going to leave it here to cool for about 20-30 minutes. Then I'm going to flip it out and I'm going to cut it up into cubes. So now I'm just going to get ready to prep everything else. I've got the bags of all the other produce on my counter over there. So I'm just going to start to get ready to start peeling and slicing all my root vegetables. So I'll be back in just a few moments. Okay, welcome back. I've been busy the last couple hours chopping and peeling everything. So in here, okay, I'm back. It's been quite a few hours of just chopping and peeling the vegetables. So in this pan here, I have 8 beets, 7 potatoes, and 3 rutabagas. And of course, the beets have already colored the potatoes and rutabagas a nice pink. These I'm going to cook in my Instant Pot. Then I've got here are my Brussels sprouts. They've already been quarter or halved and kind of like washed and peeled, and I'm going to do them in the oven. Same with my carrots. Actually, I got all these carrots were from a friend at the church, right from their garden. So I don't know quite how. There's a big freezer-sized Ziploc bag full of carrots straight from the garden. Again, I'm going to do these the oven roasted. And then here I've got a small purple yam. So I'm going to cook this on the stove and mash. And same with this. This is my butternut squash. I'm going to cook this on the stove and I'm going to mash that as well. And then I have my baby potatoes, which I haven't started yet. I kind of forgot to grab them. But that's what I've been working on. So now I will be back in just a few moments and start making the stuffing. Okay, so I am now back. I am starting my stuffing. So I'm just starting to get my garlic peeled. So I've got this little thing here. It's a garlic peeler. So you just put the piece of garlic in and you just rub it or roll it like that. And then it just gets the peel off, and then it kind of prevents your hands from getting, you know, too much of a garlic smell. So then to slice, I can't seem to find my garlic press tonight, but the easiest way to slice these is you just kind of just crush it with the knife. And then you can make chopping just a little bit easier. I prefer my garlic press. That's okay, I'm just gonna do this. I'm not very good at doing this way. I'm just kind of crushing it, flattening it, and it's supposed to make it a little bit easier to slice or to chop. So I'm not making my full stuffing, so I'm not adding the spices and I'm not adding my liquids tonight. I just want to add, so in here I've got my garlic, I've got a whole thing of celery chopped up, and I have a whole onion. My onion's not chopped, it's just in the rings. I'll just kind of break it apart now. I just was having trouble. My eyes were watering while I was trying to cut the onion. I also have a few cuts on my fingers, so a couple blisters that I got today just doing all the chopping and peeling. So now my hands are hurting and my eyes are watering doing the onion, so I was just kind of doing it kind of fast. But there, I've got, I think most of the onion is now broken up into smaller pieces. If not, as I do it tomorrow, I can always just kind of take a knife and just kind of cut some of the onions up a little bit more tomorrow, but usually as it cooks, they do get softer. So it looks a lot better. I don't have these great big giant onion rings sitting here. And then I've just got my cornbread that I made very early this morning. I'm gonna grab a different knife. Just grab this knife and I'm just, like I said, I just kind of cube it. I'm not cutting very straight or neat, that's okay. Just want to do a quick cubing here. This knife is not very good. It's one of these paring knives, but it's more curved, and when I'm holding it, it always just cuts more curved. Yeah. Yeah, that's okay. Just trying to get this done tonight. It's getting so late now. Okay. Just trying to cut some of that up a little bit more. There. And then I'm just going to pour this into this roasting pan. This will come out. There's usually just trying to get the first few pieces out, and then the rest will just come out. And then I also just had my cornbread. I had it sitting in the fridge today just so it would kind of get that staleness to it. So I had it uncovered on the counter for most of the day, just so it would really dry out. And then I just, for the last about an hour or so, I've had it just in the fridge. And like I said, I'm not adding any liquid to this right now. I just want to get the bread and the onions and the celery kind of incorporated, just so I can have time to mix those flavors in. That is the basis of my stuffing, and then, like I said, tomorrow I will be cooking this. So I'll be adding my liquids tomorrow. So I might decide to add my spices tonight. Now I haven't really decided, but no, I think I'll add my spices now. So I'm just gonna pause for a second and grab my spices. Okay, sorry, I wasn't gonna add my spices, and then I decided, no, I want this to have the spices overnight to kind of like a marinade. So I am using cilantro. Just got my mortar and pestle here. I'm just gonna dump some in, probably using about half a tablespoon each. So cilantro and then chives. I'll open up. Side coriander. Not a lot of coriander, just a little bit. Sage, again, I'll probably use about a good half a tablespoon, maybe actually almost a tablespoon of some of these. Some rosemary. I love the spices dried, and I prefer when they're in the whole spices versus ground, because I like to grind my own. But, just kind of use what you can get. Parsley, I'll go over the spices again. Marjoram, I think a little too much of that, that's okay. Some thyme, and some poultry seasoning. I like adding poultry seasoning, especially when it's going with the turkey. If I'm making a ham and I want stuffing beside the ham, I may not always use the poultry seasoning. Let's give this a good mix here. This kind of just helps break up the whole spices. And it helps also, even the ground spices, helps really give their flavor to come out. Pour that in there, and I'll give that a good mix in a minute, but just so I go over, so marjoram, poultry seasoning, parsley, thyme, sage, cilantro, rosemary, chives, and a little bit of coriander. So that is my stuffing, and then I'll finish it tomorrow. I think I've done all of the prep work tonight that I can do. So I will be back tomorrow. Tomorrow is Sunday, so it'll be after church when I go to cook all the food. Okay, so I am now back. I am starting my stuffing, so I'm just starting to get my garlic peeled. So I've got this little thing here. It's a garlic peeler. So you just put the piece of garlic in and you just rub it. Roll it like that, and then it just gets the peel off, and then it kind of prevents your hands from getting, too much of a garlic smell. So then to slice, I can't seem to find my garlic press tonight, but the easiest way to slice these is you just kind of just crush it with the knife, and then you can make chopping just a little bit easier. I prefer my garlic press. That's okay, I'm just gonna do this. I'm not very good at doing this way. I'm just kind of crushing it, flattening it, and it's supposed to make it a little bit easier to slice or to chop. So I'm not making my full stuffing, so I'm not adding the spices and I'm not adding my liquid tonight. I just want to add, so in here I've got my garlic, I've got a whole thing of celery chopped up, and I have a whole onion. My onion's not chopped, it's just in the rings. I'll just kind of break it apart now. I was having trouble. My eyes were watering while I was trying to cut the onion. I also have a few cuts on my fingers, so a couple blisters that I got today just doing all the chopping and peeling. So now my hands are hurting and my eyes are watering doing the onion. So I was just kind of doing it kind of fast, but there I've got, I think most of the onion is now broken up into smaller pieces. If not, as I do it tomorrow, I can always just kind of take a knife and just kind of cut some of the onions up a little bit more tomorrow, but usually as it cooks, they do get softer. So it looks a lot better. I don't have these great big giant onion rings sitting here. And then I've just got my cornbread that I made very early this morning. I'm gonna grab a different knife. Just grab this knife and I'm just, like I said, I just kind of cube it. I'm not cutting very straight or neat, that's okay. Just want to do a quick cubing here. This knife is not very good. It's one of these paring knives, but it's more curved, and when I'm holding it, it always just cuts more curved. Yeah, that's okay. Just trying to get this done tonight. It's getting so late now. Okay. Just trying to cut some of that up a little bit more. There. And then I'm just gonna pour this into this roasting pan. Will come out. There's usually just trying to get the first few pieces out, and then the rest will just come out. And then I also just had my cornbread. I had it sitting in the fridge today just so it would kind of get that staleness to it. So I had it uncovered on the counter for most of the day, just so it would really dry out. And then I just, for the last about an hour or so, I've had it just in the fridge. And like I said, I'm not adding any liquid to this right now. I just want to get the bread and the onions and the celery kind of incorporated, just so I can have time to mix those flavors in. That is the basis of my stuffing, and then, like I said, tomorrow I will be cooking this. So I'll be adding my liquids tomorrow. So I might decide to add my spices tonight. Now I haven't really decided, but no, I think I'll add my spices now. So I'm just gonna pause for a second and grab my spices. Okay, sorry, I wasn't gonna add my spices, and then I decided, no, I want this to have the spices overnight to kind of like a marinade. So I am using cilantro. Just got my mortar and pestle here. I'm just gonna dump some in, probably using about half a tablespoon each. So cilantro and then chives. I'll open up side. Coriander. Not a lot of coriander, just a little bit. Sage, again, I'll probably use about a good half a tablespoon, maybe actually almost a tablespoon of some of these. Some rosemary. I love the spices dried, and I prefer when they're in the whole spices versus ground, because I like to grind my own. But, you know, just kind of use what you can get. Parsley, I'll go over the spices again. Marjoram, a little too much of that, that's okay. Some thyme, and some poultry seasoning. I like adding poultry seasoning, especially when it's going with the turkey. If I'm making a ham and I want stuffing beside the ham, I may not always use the poultry seasoning. Just give this a good mix here. This kind of just helps break up the whole spices. And it helps also, even the ground spices, helps really give their flavor to come out. Pour that in there, and I'll give that a good mix in a minute, but just so I'll go over, so marjoram, poultry seasoning, parsley, thyme, sage, cilantro, rosemary, chives, and a little bit of coriander. So that is my stuffing, and then I said I'll finish it tomorrow. I think I've done all of the prep work tonight that I can do. So I will be back tomorrow. Tomorrow is Sunday, so it'll be after church when I go to cook all the food. Okay, welcome back. It is Sunday. It's about 1:30 in the afternoon. Just kind of got home from church. I'm just starting to, you know, me and my daughter, we're just starting to prepare everything, get everything ready to get cooked. We've got the baby potatoes halved, and she's added a couple of cloves of garlic to it. I've got my spices here that I was mixing. I made a big batch because I'm going to be adding the spices to the potatoes, the carrots, and the Brussels sprouts. So we're just drizzling the potatoes with the olive oil, and like I said, I made a big batch of the spices because I'll be using these on various different ones. I'm just going to sprinkle a good amount on here, and then I've got about a third on the potatoes, and it gives me about a third for the carrots and a third for the Brussels sprouts. So my spices I'm using is sage, cilantro, thyme, rosemary, parsley, poultry seasoning, marjoram, rosemary, if I didn't already say that one, and chives. And then in my Instant Pot, I have added the root vegetables, so that would be the potatoes, beets, and the rutabaga. I set it on the manual timer for 20 minutes. So you see it's got 11 minutes left to go. So I was just trying to get everything kind of cooking. I've got on the stove here cooking, we've got the yams, and there's the purple yams and the sweet potato, because I'm going to do both those as mashed. I've got the turkey and the ham are in the sink soaking. To clean, I would put them in the pan. I'm going to cook them in the oven, so they'll be ready very soon. Right now I just got the other veggies, and the stuffing are in the oven right now cooking. So I will be just seasoning those up in just a moment, making the dressing for the Brussels sprouts and the glaze for the carrots. So I'm just going to set my camera up a little bit better and get everything out to make the dressing for the other items. Okay, I'm going to start with the dressing. So I've got about half a cup of milk. I'm just going to pour in here, and I just need some my olive oil as well. The lid was off, and then I put the lid turned the wrong way. It's going on, and just a little bit of olive oil, and mix it around, and the stuffing is ready to go back in the oven. The pan is going to be very hot. And then I've got, the next thing is I've got the Brussels sprouts and the carrots. So I'm going to make the dressing for those. So the dressing for the, I guess I'll do the carrots first. I've got my list here. I had this all sort of set out and exactly knew what I needed. So I've already got them the season, and so I just have to add, I need the rice vinegar. That's what I forgot to grab. All right, I've got everything I need to make my dressing for the carrots. If I can get that opened. And I'm just gonna pour everything in here. So it just needs a little bit of, just a little splash of the rice wine vinegar, a little bit of oil, olive oil, and it asks for honey, but I don't have any honey right at this moment. My honey all crystallized. All my honey has crystallized. So I'm just going to substitute for maple syrup, which I love to add to all my stuff anyways. I'm just going to pour in some maple syrup, and then I'm going to toss in the third of those spices that I had already made up. And then because this one here is with the cumin, I'm going to sprinkle some cumin in here because this is the only recipe that's asking for cumin. I just love the cumin and maple syrup with the carrots. It always tastes good. So we'll just toss those together, and that will go back in the oven probably another 15 minutes. And now I can make the dressing for the Brussels sprouts. Okay, so for the seasoning for my Brussels sprouts, I've got oil, which I've already added, and then I've got maple syrup or honey, whichever one you prefer. It also asks for some mustard. Some mustard and lemon juice. There goes the lid to the lemon juice. And then again, just do another big handful or so of all those other spices I've already got measured and mixed out. And then this will just get, again, this will all just get tossed together, mixed together, and back in the oven for another about 15 minutes. So now I'll be back in just a few moments when I am doing the mashed yams and sweet potato. All right, so my daughter is mashing the yam and sweet potato. In the microwave, we've got about a little over a cup of milk and about a quarter cup or so of butter just melting. We'll be adding it to that to help mash. There is 6 minutes left on my Instant Pot. It wasn't working. I didn't hit the right setting. So I'm still learning how to use my Instant Pot. So I had to restart everything. So there's still 6 minutes left. So it's another, it went through that 11 minutes and now it's gone through another almost half an hour because, I said I'm just learning to the Instant Pot. I had it on the wrong setting. And so now I'm going to be making my cranberry sauce. So the cranberry sauce is, I'm using these frozen cranberries, which I defrosted last night. So they're defrosted. And I'll be adding sugar, water, orange juice, chopped ginger, and the zest of an orange. So I'm just going to get to the other side of the island and start the cranberry sauce. All right, I'm now ready to make my cranberry sauce. Here I've got my cranberries in the pan. To this I'm adding 2 1/4 cups of sugar. I need 3/4 of a cup of orange juice. Spilling everything everywhere. Then I need 3/4 a cup of water. That's one of those. And I've got my freshly chopped ginger. Okay, and I think that was everything. Sugar, water, orange juice, ginger, and the zest of an orange. So I don't have a fresh one, but I do like to buy the orange peel, like the dried orange peel. So I'm going to put a tablespoon of that in, or just a good shake of it in. Like that. And I'm just going to get this to go into a boil and then a low simmer, and the cranberry sauce will be done. Just going to take a few minutes to do this. It's usually less than 5 minutes to make cranberry sauce. So got that done. When they start to pop, I will put the lid on and then just let it simmer. And then my daughter's mashed the yams and the sweet potato, and she's added the maple syrup and buttermilk and butter to them. The root vegetables is now finished. The steam valve is doing its releasing thing. Should be almost done. Little thing, yeah, busy doing other things. The little thing, it's already down, so the steam valve is done. I guess my next thing I'll be doing is making the gravy. Okay, so I'm just, my cranberry sauce is now just turned on low to just a simmer. I'm just lifting off the lid because I didn't want it to boil over again. Now I'm going to start making my gravy. So I'm using those pouches of gravy mix. I'm actually making 4 pouches today, so I'll get like about a good 4 cups of gravy. And for these ones, each one of these needed just 1 cup of water each. So I just adding 4 cups of water. And I just spilled a bunch of water on my stove, probably about a half a cup or so. So I probably don't have enough water now. And I grabbed this towel, and this towel does not want to soak up the water. It just wants to spread it for some reason. There. There. That's better. Oh, no, I don't need that one on. I need what temperature? Just on high. Now I just have to whisk this together. And this will just take like, whisk it till it boils, and then bring it down to a simmer for about 3 to 5 minutes. I forget which one I'm making. I make different types of pouches of gravy, so it's somewhere between 3 and 5 minutes once it's come to a boil. And you just have to constantly stir or while you're boiling. So I will be back in just a few moments when the gravy is done, and my cranberry sauce will also be done. Okay, so now we're getting ready to make the salad. I just bought a couple of these Buffalo Ranch salad kits. I think they're like $6 each, but we got them half price. So we bought 2 of them. And we also bought this other just American blend, just different, you know, iceberg, romaine, carrots, and cabbage and radishes. And that was also 50%. It was $3, so $1.50 for that. And then, you know, these were $6, so they were $3 each. Sometimes when I'm doing a big meal like this, I find it easy to make buy the pre-made salads. It just saves you a few minutes. So my daughter's going to be making them now. This one here with this Buffalo Ranch, it's the salad kit. So it also has the buffalo seasoned croutons and Monterey Jack with the Buffalo Ranch dressing. So my daughter is just going to pour all 3 packages into the bowl and just toss everything together. All our other sides are all done. We've got them covered with tin foil. The turkey and the ham are also now in the oven. So now I'll be back in just a few minutes when I figure out what we're making next. All right, welcome back. I have now got all the sides are made, salad is done, the ham and turkey are in the oven. Now we're gonna do the desserts. I was gonna make a pumpkin pie or a pumpkin cheesecake. By the time I got to the store, nobody had pumpkin pie filling, so I just went and bought a pre-made pumpkin pie. Not my favorite thing to do, but it was only $3.50, and I bought a can of the Cool Whip. It was about $5. But I'm also gonna make 2 of my pudding pies. So I am gonna make a chocolate pudding pie and a pistachio, and I'm using canned coconut milk. So each one will be a can of coconut milk and the pie filling, or the Jello pudding. So I'm doing 1 pistachio, and the pistachio one I'm gonna be topping it with mini marshmallows and a regular graham crust. And the chocolate pudding, I am putting it into a chocolate pie crust, and I am topping it with the Hershey Chip-It Score toffee bits. So just have everything ready. So I'll make one, my daughter will make one. What do you want? Okay, she's gonna make the chocolate, and I'll make the pistachio. Sometimes just getting the coconut milk out of the can is sometimes the hardest part in here. Sometimes the milk just kind of separates from the liquid. And then you just have to kind of give it an extra stir before I add the pudding. I buy my coconut milk from Dollarama. I think they're like $1 or $1.50, I don't know, somewhere between $1 or $1.25 or $1.50 a can, I don't know. Hard to keep track of their prices, they always just up things. And these ones don't have a little price sticker on them. So they might still just be the regular $1. And then just pour in the pudding. Don't need a spatula, I need the whisk. You just whisk. Whisk the pudding into the milk, and it sets so fast. Like, that's why I love these, my pudding pies, just how fast they are to make. Sometimes I will make them with a Cool Whip and I will freeze them, but I'm not doing that this time. And while that is kind of setting up for a minute, I'm just going to take this because I forgot to do this. I will do that to the chocolate one as well. Try not to burn myself because I got hot food right beside me. Is it still hot? Yeah, it's still hot. That's the gravy. Or cranberry, no, it's the cranberry sauce. That one's gravy. So my arms are right beside the gravy and the cranberry sauce. So they are very hot. Just gonna put this off. It just takes a couple minutes for this to set, and it sets so fast. And then I'm just gonna pour the pie, the pudding right into the crust. And I can see I didn't quite mix all the way to the bottom. That's okay. I will give it a little bit of a mix now that it's in the pie shell. It happens sometimes, you know, you just kind of, well, the way that this one was just kind of had separated, so I had the milk part had separated solid and then the liquid. So I'm just gonna spread this out to even it out.
Some of the chocolate chips, I'll add some into the mix.
What?
I'll add some of the chocolate chips into the
Oh,
mix.
okay. I'll pass you the chips in a second. Just get all this pie off this. Just move this out of the way. Open this. It's not chocolate chips, it's the square toffee pieces. Open up the bag of marshmallows here. These will get the colored ones. Okay.
Yeah, I'll grab the color ones.
Well, didn't matter if it's colored or white. I just like to make a nice layer of them. What?
You're just messily putting them in.
What?
You're putting them in messily.
Oh, I'm going too messy for my daughter. She likes to do it one at a time, and I'm sure she doesn't like because these are colored, so I'm just randomly sticking, you know,
I don't
same
care
color.
about the color. I care about the fact that you're not putting them all standing up straight.
Well, they would all be standing up straight if she was doing this. I'm the one doing this, so I'm doing it fast just because I just want to get this done. So it doesn't take long to do this. I mean, I think when my son was doing the marshmallows on here, I think he just dumped them right out off from the bag straight on here and then just pushed them inside the pudding. And I didn't like that. Because then you'd get like 2 or 3, you know, you'd take a bite and you'd get like 2 or 3 layers of marshmallows stuck inside the pudding. We're just gonna finish this, and then I'll be back when all the Both the pies are done. Like I said, the other one was a store-bought, and it's just a little too early to add the Cool Whip right now. So I will do that just before it gets served. Everybody can kind of put their own amount of Cool Whip on. I like to do that too. If I'm making a pie with company, I like to let them put the amount of Cool Whip that they like on. After it's been sliced, it's kind of easier that way sometimes, but we'll be back in just a few moments when we are done with the pies. All right, so the pies are done. So I said we've got the pumpkin pie, the pistachio with the graham crust and mini marshmallows, the chocolate pudding pie with a chocolate graham crust, or I guess it's not a graham crust, it's a Oreo crust with the Score toffee bits, and the Cool Whip. So when everybody cuts their piece, they can put their own amount of Cool Whip on. So I think we're done. The desserts are done now. And I guess we're back to do the cookie and cracker and cheese platter. Okay, I'm now standing in my dining room because I don't have any room on my island at the moment, but I'm getting ready to make my cheese, cracker and pickle platters and my cookie platters. So I don't know where my dishes that I love to do my pickles in, so I'm just going to use a few of these little dessert bowls for right now. So I've got the baby dill pickles, I've got this Mexican Fiesta cheese, so it's the marble jalapeno cheddar, and I just have some regular marble cheese. I also have my herbed, it's my goat cheese, made with the goat's milk cheese. Do a little dish of that. And then for the crackers, I've got the fire roasted vegetable thins and the cracked black pepper. So these are like Triscuits, and these are like those vegetable thins. So that's what I've got for that platter I'll be setting up. And then for my cookies, I have a box of pumpkin spice cookies. They're made with the cream cheese flavored icing. I haven't tried them yet. I think they'll be good. This box I did open to try it. And these are the celebration. These are the autumn leaf cookies and the pumpkin spice with the vanilla cream center. And I have the maple leaf ones, which is the maple flavored. And I have a package of these little bite-sized wafers. And I have a little package of these. These are like the Kinder type chocolates, the hazelnut little things. I think they're Kinder something, whatever they're called. And I have these other little wafers, the straw kind, and I got the chocolate filling inside. So I'm just gonna set up those platters. And then I also have 2 types of buns. So I got a 12-pack of, I think these are for the whole wheat, and a 12-pack of white. These ones actually are fresh baked at the bakery that one of my daughters works at. So where I get a lot of my bakery stuff. So put those out on the trays. And I got all those timers going off behind me. So I think my turkey and my ham are cooked. So I'm gonna go check on those and then I'll be right back.
I'm gonna say we're done with this one.
I hope I've got this low enough so you can see, but my turkey and my ham are ready to come out of the oven. There we go. I'm just gonna move them to the serving platter and then I'll be right back. Alright, I guess I'll have to end my video here. I ran quickly, got my daughters from work, and I come back and the company's already home, or here. So we're gonna start our supper. I will just do a quick, I'm taking photos of everything, so I will just do an end in the description or something. I'll figure out how to post the pictures of everything I've made. And again, I just want to say thank you so much to everybody who's subscribed to my channel and watching my videos, and I'll see you in the next ones. Bye.